Hi there! Hi again, and we have another kit. So my sister I visited my sister in the Netherlands, and she accidentally bought the Baselard hand scale kit, thinking it was the full-size one. And well, yeah, she built it, and it was just so freaking adorable. I had to have one. So I've got myself the Frames Arms Girl hand scale Innocentia, and she's about 75 millimeters tall, so she be tiny. So the full scale one is 15 or 16 centimeters tall, if I remember correctly, and she has a different illustration from this one, without the gloves and the socks and an open belly. And for this, the original sized kit came with, well, boots and the gloves and everything as extra parts. But for the hand scale, Innocentia, if you bought her from Kotobukiya, then she got extra parts that has her bare legs and arms. Maybe someday I'll get it, but surprisingly she's one of the more expensive hand scale figures or kits, despite practically having no accessories. Anyway, in front of the box we have a cute illustration of the character, and we have a 2-scale photo of the figure. On the left hand side we have a gradient pink with all the figure details, Frames Arms Girls logo, non-scale full action plastic model kit, hand scale Innocentia, and the same in Japanese. On the right hand side we have a picture of her posing, some accessories, her facial decals. On the left hand side we have some pictures of the figure or the kit. Bottom, more of the illustration and what you saw in front. Top, the same as the bottom. And back, all the warnings and such, as well as the possibilities you can have with other kits by kit bashing. Okay, so we've mentioned the MSG line and the Hexagear line. I'm personally not that much into mecha stuff, so I'm not the target audience. Anyway, I got her from Tokyo Otaku Mode because it's the cheapest place I could get her, and I'm surprised she is still sealed. Wow. Considering that she is the most expensive I've seen, except for the pre-orders. We have a circular clear tape at the top and bottom, keeping everything in place. So, first off, the instruction manual. We have the same illustration as the front. Okay, so I'm not sure what that is. Okay. On the instruction manual front we have the same illustration as the box. The back, they mention the placement of the decals and they show the full figure. Opening up, we have the color guide and the parts guide, and then the instructions. 4 pages. Here we have the decals, and oh my gosh, that's so tiny. So for reference, one of her eyes, including the eyebrow, is just over 2 millimeters. Okay, so parts. So here we have the arm and leg parts in black. Then we have some parts for the torso in red. Then we have the hands in black. Some parts in white and the faces. So we have 2 plain blank faces to use for decals, and 2 itty bitty faces with, well, faces on them. So one is a kind of a grimacing expression looking off the left side. And the other is a neutral state looking expression. It's so tiny, look at it. Next we have the skin tone parts, mainly for her thighs, and we have some light greyish pink parts for her hair. So I'm going to build her, and then I'm going to come back to you with everything. Oops. See you in a bit. And we're back again with her all put together. So, first things first, how did it go? Okay, she's pretty easy to build, took me about 20 minutes, but I wouldn't recommend it for people with bigger fingers because the parts are tiny. Okay, so the instructions were easy to follow and all the parts look good. And I don't have much else to say about the build. So about the quality. Okay. Some of her joints like popping off, mostly the chest joint, and the waist joint is a bit loose. Other than that, she's pretty sturdy. So let's go to her accessories and then go to her. So we've got 6 pairs of eye decals for her 2 extra faces. We have the 2 blank faces. Okay. One with the weird grimacing mouth and the other blank. They are, okay, let's see, about 8 millimeters tall. Okay. Done with those faces. Then she has the sideways look with this weird mouth expression, which isn't painted, by the way. Why not? I don't know. And like we said, she has a neutral face, which I put on her. Okay, hands. So first off, some itty bitty open palm hands. So, and then 2 fists. Two holding hands, which by comparison are a bit bigger than the other hands, but I guess if they were smaller they wouldn't be able to hold things properly. Then the hands I have on her are open palms with spread fingers. The hands are just on pegs, no joints. Okay. Then we have these 2 things, which can go into her holding hands. That was dangerous. I think this one's supposed to go in this end. Okay, I forgot to mention the hands are a semi-soft PVC. Well, not that soft, but softer than the ABS. Okay, so we have these 2 things that you can hold. So you can plug a weapon or an accessory onto there and you can hold that. So 1 for each hand. Next we have these 2 things, which can be replaced with these parts on her shoulders. So you can plug something into this hole, like armor or weapons or whatever. like your normal Mecha Musume kit. And similarly, we have these two tiny plugs that can plug into her thighs for armor or weapons parts. Next we have the so-called backpack piece. The one she has on is a lot smaller, the one I put on her, and this one's a lot bigger. The bigger one can accommodate for the stand that they usually in the Kotobukiya sells. I'm not too sure about the kits and everything, so I can't say 100%. But yeah, it's big and bulky compared to the other one. And then lastly, she has two hair pieces. One is just plain bangs and one is bangs with kitty ears. Of course I'm going to put on the kitty ears, I love cats. Anyway, so next up we can talk about the coloring. The color of the plastic is solid and I see no issues. Now, all the colors except the skin color is slightly glossy, which is pretty nice since you don't really want the skin glossy. But I did notice, and I don't know if it'll show on camera, that the black isn't just a plain black, it has glitter in it. I think you can see a bit of it on camera. I hope so. Because she's super tiny, it's not easy to capture. The faces, so they are pretty cute and pretty nice, but they are ever so slightly grainy. And the decals are indeed glossy. So I don't know if you can see the slight graininess on camera, but it is there. Okay, so that's for the coloring. Oh, the little bit of coloring. The sculpting details is really good. So just check all that itty bitty tiny details all over. I actually can't wait to paint her because it will be pretty fun filling in all the details. Okay. Even here behind her boobs. You can see some nice sculpting. Shit. And the hair is also sculpted nicely. No bulky edges of points, although some of the seam lines are quite visible. So let me just save her boobs. Luckily for all the teeny tiny parts of her I've dropped, I've been able to find them easily. I do not recommend working on her in a place that things can get lost easily. Okay, so next is posability from top to bottom. The pigtails are on pegs and they can go almost full 360 degrees. They do get stuck here on her arm and on her bangs a bit. But it's worth noting, her left ponytail, my right, is a bit wider than the other one. Okay, next, her head is on ball joint. It is super tight. If you don't hold on to her chest, the chest moves instead of the head. Okay, so because of her hair, she can only go this far back, so not really, but she can go pretty far forward. You can look down. So 360 degree rotation, because it's a ball joint. But yeah, push it too much and it pops off. And a bit side to side movement, once again limited by the hair. Next, the shoulder. It's a peg and hinge joint, so it can go 360 degrees. And you can actually go all the way up, just with the hinge. But it is also very tight and instead of move, if you just don't hold the chestboard joint moves. Okay, she has her bicep connector piece, so she has the bicep swivel. Her elbow joint is on a hinge with more than 90 degrees, and her wrists are just on pegs, so just a rotation like that. The chest is on a ball joint, so all the way back and all the way forward, side to side, and 360-degree rotation. Her hip, waist. Her waist is on a hinge, can go this far forward. Okay, her waist is on a hinge this far forward and not much back. She has the back piece here, which is also on the same hinge. So if she can do that, you can put it down like that, but I don't really think it helps anything. It's kind of ugly. Hips are on ball joints, so she can split this far, not much back, 90 degrees forward. Okay, and she has a thigh swivel, 360 degrees. Then she has a double jointed knee, and an ankle joint, so 90 degrees down, and they pop off easily, and this far forward. So she has quite the range for something so itty bitty. So in conclusion, she's really cute, and I've been having a great time comparing her to all the tiniest stuff I have and putting her in the hands of other dolls and such. So yeah, I'm very happy with her. Would I recommend her? Absolutely not. Because although she's super adorable, it feels like a bit of a stretch for the amount I paid. I can say you could either go for the base large figure, because she has a plain version and a super armored version. And yeah, so she's super cute and I'm super glad to have her. I'd say if you can see one in real life, it's best to decide if you want one after that, because she's only as tall as my finger. Anyway, I'm going to go paint her, so thanks for watching and see you next time.